I'll get going. Yeah, no problem.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's time to leave.
So my question was if
No, you don't need to ask.
Tony Coutlis visited
You
and
need to
violated our
leave.
cadets, if that was wrong.
You need
And
to
I
leave.
take it that you guys aren't happy with that question. That's unfortunate. I'm being thrown out for asking a question about Tony Coutlis visiting West Point and
Leave.
violating our female cadets, and this lieutenant colonel who's one of Ron Wyden's violent eunuchs is not being very nice. He put his hands on me, and then he told me that it's a direct order. I don't serve in the U.S. Army, but told me that's a direct order and is throwing me out. So I'm leaving, but the question's a valid question, and I asked it simply because I think it's unfortunate that our cadets have been violated by Tony Coutlis. And we're talking about cyber intrusions. That's what the cadet was talking about. I got permission to ask a question. I asked a question. I asked the question. It's a tough question. I agree. It's a tough question. It's about Tony Coutlis visiting West Point and injecting female cadets with AIDS. I'm upset about the fact that the sexual assault cases on this campus have skyrocketed. And these faculty members were very rude. So I decided to ask. And they were defending Tony Coutlis, the hub rapist, who we all know about as Americans. We've been talking about this animal for a long time. So I decided to ask.
Sir,
Well, and here's the lieutenant colonel, the guy who put his hands on me.
You stop taping.
So
Leave the building now. The MPs have been called.
it's important, yeah. So I asked a simple question. It was very respectful. I was just as calm as I am now. Just as calm. You see how calm I am. I'm even smiling. So I asked the question because I'm very upset about the fact our cadets have been violated under the watch of this lieutenant colonel. It's a very valid question. It's very valid. And other alumni have told me I should ask the question. West Point alumni, like JP Coutlis, asked the tough question. So I did. I asked the tough question. And I'm being thrown out now. You see how upset this guy is. He's losing his marbles. There's nothing wrong with asking a tough question. The West Point alumni said, JP, ask the damn question. Because I asked folks, do you think I should ask the question? And the alumni, West Point, who don't like this Ron Wyden eunuch, this violent eunuch, who put his hands on me, that's how upset he got. He said, don't ask that question. And he was throwing me out. The West Point alumni said, ask the damn question. So I asked the question. I listened to the alumni of the Long Gray Line. They said, JP Coutlis, ask the freaking question. So that's what I did. And though this violent Ron Wyden eunuch was like, leave, so I'm going to leave. But I think the American people of our leadership movement and American women are interested in this. The fact that this violent Ron Wyden eunuch just threw me out for asking a very valid question. The alumni of West Point will ask that question. So I asked the question, and now I'm being thrown out for it. And keep in mind, this talk on cybersecurity took place in no other place. The admissions building. This is where these young women were admitted to West Point. And they came here and they expect to be safe. And my Yorkers, my fellow Americans, our fellow Americans have taken an interest in this situation. And so when the members of the Long Gray Line here at West Point said, ask the damn question, JP Coutlis. Ask your damn question. We want you to ask it. Because I was afraid. Look, I'm here as a visitor. I want to be respectful. But members of the Long Gray Line said, JP, ask your freaking question. I asked the question. You saw the response from that Ron Wyden eunuch. You can't make this shit up. It's crazy shit. This guy threw me out. This Ron Wyden eunuch just threw me out of the admissions office where they're having a seminar on cyber intrusions, both physical and non-physical. That was how the cyber security conference went. I was thrown out. I had multiple members of the Long Gray Line who were like, leave. No, this is Lieutenant Colonel. But multiple members of the Long Gray Line were like, ask your damn question. Some people at West Point, a lot of them, aren't happy about the idea of the young cadets being injected with the hub rapist's HIV and his AIDS. Can you blame them? It's their young women. It's our young women. We pay for this academy. So I asked the tough question, folks, and I got in trouble for it. I got getting thrown out of a place I love. But it's okay. Because in our leadership movement, we don't back down to some Ron Wyden eunuch lieutenant colonel. We don't give a shit if he's a lieutenant colonel or a brigadier general. Or a Chuck Schumer or a Ron Wyden. We don't give a shit. It's how we do it. We're Americans. At the end of the day, we give a damn. We give a damn about each other. We give a damn about this institution. Why? Because these are our cadets. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. I'm leaving now. Because they actually called MPs. They called the military police. I'm not messing. I'm not joking. They really did. West Point alumni said, ask your question. They said, ask your question. I'm right here in front of the admissions office. The alumni said, ask your question. I'm being thrown out for asking the question. So I did what the West Point alumni wanted me, because the young women are being raped by their hub rapist, by that colonel's hub rapist, his butt buddy. And it's his butt buddy too. They were talking. They're really close. You told me this is friend. They're friends. They're close. They're very close, like Ron Wyden close. I asked a tough question. And that's the shit that happened. So I did what the members of the Long Gray Line wanted, the West Point grads wanted, and I'm being thrown off post. All right? So I did what y'all wanted, and now you're getting me thrown off this post. I love you anyways. Take care. Hey, Colonel, do we have freedom of speech here? Since Kazan left, is there freedom of speech on this post? What? Did you just curse at me? He just cursed at me. He says, fuck you. A man in uniform just told me F you. It's remarkable. You can't make this up. This lieutenant colonel just said fuck you to me. You can't make this stuff up. This man just told me to go F myself, and he's wearing an army uniform. But he won't let me ask a question about our young women being raped by his butt buddy. That's wrong. That is wrong. I started recording again because of that. So...